Hi folks, and welcome back to Conan Exiles. This is episode 32 of the Beginner's Guide 2023/24, and in this episode we are going to return to the unnamed city that we were in way back in episode 15, and back then we visited the archivist to get the map room, and I pointed out the Library of Esoteric Artifacts that's in the same room as the archivist, that you can trade fragments of power for scrolls. And we discussed back then that at that point in time it was random what scroll you got, so you could get duplicate scrolls, but since chapter 2 of Age of War, it is now, although it's random the order you get them out of the library, you don't get duplicates anymore. So once you've learned something or have the recipe for something, it's removed from the pool of possible choices, so therefore you don't get duplicates, and you should be able to get all the recipes, and I believe there's 30 recipes, so you should be able to get all the recipes with 30 fragments of power. So we're going to go and visit that today, because we now have 38 fragments of power. So let's just grab, let's take 35 just in case, and we're going to head down to the unnamed city, which is this part here, and that is the archives there. We'll go and take on a boss. Any of these bosses that you get a fragment of power from, so I'll just show you where you get the fragments of power from. So we'll head over there and we'll take on one of these bosses to show you that first, and then we'll head to the archives to grab our recipes. Okay, let's get going. Okay, we've just made it into the unnamed city, and we're at this door here in the northwest corner, and over there is the brute. We'll take on the brute first. Like I say, any of these, so you have to kind of farm these guys, and each one of them will drop a fragment of power. Let's just take them on and just make sure that that is correct. Go round, applying some sunder. His armor down to half Valencia.
Taste death.
There's little chests around the unnamed city that can also randomly contain fragments of power. You can have a look online. You can see the locations of those chests. Right, armor, repair kit, layer silk, gauntlets of the brute, very nice, and a fragment of power. Take that as well. Okay, right, now we need to head down here and like down this area. This is from the top, and you can kind of come round this corner and into the archives over there. There is the obelisk just outside the front here, so we're going to head in that direction. So we've covered that in the unnamed city video already, so I won't take you through it, but I'll meet you outside the door. Okay, see you soon. Right, here we are, and if I bring up the map you can see where we are here, just following that entrance up there. Obelisk is right in front of us, just straight ahead. So we're going to run past that into the corruption zone, or just going to ignore these skeletons, and we're going into that building. If you haven't already attuned, you can just click on that to attune the bracelet for that. Allows you to fast travel with the map room once you've built a map room. But we're just going to run straight in this building here. Oh, Delencia's fighting with the skeletons. We're in here and we should stop gaining corruption. Come on, there we go. It's faded away. So there's the archivist. That's who you speak to learn how to make the map room. But it's this shelf of scrolls just to the right of him is the one we're interested in. And if we come up to it and go press E to interact, there we go, we've access to the dark library. Let me see, does that give us a scroll? It just tells us about that. But let's just check. Does it show up on here? There we go. The Library of Esoteric Artifacts is down here. So when we learn it, initially we can learn this metal skull. These Dragon Bone and the Silent Legion armor is stuff that we learned in the other locations, but they also belong to the Library of Esoteric Artifacts. But, right, we're now ready to start learning properly. Let's put my weapons away. So you can see we've got 37, I'll put my helmet on to get it out of the way, we've got 36 fragments of power at the moment, and if we come up here and press E, we use one and we're granted a new scroll, which is fast elevators. Wow, that's lucky. That's one that I'm always trying to get, because the standard elevators are really slow. And we got it first time. Next one, Battle Spatula, which is a one-handed axe that looks like a chef's spatula. Let's see, what else do we get? Venom-infused two-handed sword, nice one. Another one, the King Scourge statue, a decorative placeable. Venom-infused sword, the one-handed sword. The Gravedigger, which is the shovel type weapon that it's used in Sipta to dig up the graves to get stuff from Sipta. It doesn't really have a use in the Exiled lands other than being a weapon that looks like a shovel. Serpent Man statues, more placeables. Practice swords, they're wooden practice swords. Throne of Skelos, so that's the throne that the guy, the last boss in the Well of Skelos dungeon was sitting on, so we can craft our own one now. Havoc and Malice, that's I think that's two-hand dual-wielding axes. Coloured candles. A dead leg, so that is a leg, a physical person's leg that you can use as a two-handed mace. Bindings of the Dead. They are, I think they're probably the best bindings in the game. They're glow, they glow like the whites. They're blue glowing bindings, but they've got a massive amount of durability, so they'll last forever. Whirlwind Blades, so it's dual wielding swords. Essence of Rot, that's a material that you put in with meat and it'll make your meat rot and spoil faster. Merchant Signs, placeable signs. Yogite Chosen Mask, that's a mask that acts as a sandstorm mask. Skelos Armour. Venom Infused Pike. The Glasser, that is a set of daggers that's shaped to look like some broken wine bottles. Petrified Egg, another placeable. Table Leg. I think the table leg is a two-handed mace that looks like it's been broken off of the leg of a table. Venom-infused daggers, that's one I very much like. Way markers, that's just like arrows that you can write signs that point to things. Tablet of Power, we'll come back to that one. Decorative grindstones, that's just a grindstone that looks like it doesn't actually do anything, so it's a bit like the grindstone that you get from the journey step, but it's just a decoration. A kiln, so that's an improved furnace. Reinforced stool, so that's the one-handed mace that looks like the leg of a stool. Faux taxidermy, allows you to do have taxidermied animals. Venom infused war axe, so it's a one-handed axe that's also venom infused. There we go, that's all we can learn, so that should be 30 scrolls. So we've got a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 19, 24, yeah, we've got 30. So now we have to go and learn all them, and then we need to go and craft some of them. So I'm going to head home, I'm going to learn them all up, and we'll start crafting them. I'm not going to craft them all because some of them are a bit meh. I'll craft some of the cooler stuff and I'll let you see it. Okay, let's get home again. Okay, so we've made it back to base. We've learned all those recipes, and I've crafted quite a few of them to show you. But let's start off with one of my favourites, which is the Bindings of the Dead. Now, it's quite expensive. It needs 3 fragments of power, 10 layered silk, 40 alchemical base, and a Heart of a Hero. The Heart of the Hero is the ones that you get from the human bosses in the Unnamed Cities, the bosses, the random spawn bosses that have the Silent Legion armour on. Kill any of them, you should get a Heart of the Hero. Put them all in here in the Torturer's work table and craft that. There we go. Now let me see. Show you. Yeah, so 18,792 durability. So that'll basically last you forever. So absolutely awesome bindings. I've put them on so you can see they're like ghostly glow in the dark. So the metal bindings that you can make with the tier 4 armour are pretty good. This is even better. Okay, drop that in there. Right, next we'll pop upstairs and we'll have a look at some of the placeables, some of my favourite placeables. So this is the Throne of Skelos. So this is the throne that you see up at the Well of Skelos. So it's glowing purple there. A little bit of a RGB throne. And we've got some petrified eggs here as well. Very nice. These are the Serpentmen statues. So we'll have seen that these Serpentmen statues are now dropping off of the mobs in Well of Skelos. So I think I got 3 of these in my run that I did recently. But that's the set of 5 that you learn. That one recipe allows you to learn all 5. And here's the other statue, which is the Kin Scourge, which is just out of rock. You would think it would actually be like out of sort of black stone, but still pretty cool. Still pretty cool. Okay, that's my favourite of the placeables. There are other ones like the candles and whatnot. That's, yeah, meh. I've crafted a bunch of the weapons, but I've got them outside. I'll just want to show you one more thing. So we've learned quite a few venom-infused weapons. We've got daggers, pike, one-handed sword, a two-handed sword, and the axe. And the deal with these is that they are venom infused, so every hit applies poison. Without you having to apply a poison to the weapon, they automatically deploy poison. Which means the good thing is the daggers that do bleed automatically will also do poison, so they'll do bleed and poison at the same time. So they're only 25 health damage by default, but obviously we'll get a little bit higher if we've got a decent blacksmith making them. Let's craft one of these, but what you do need is a Sand Beast Bile Gland to craft one. The weapon handle, star metal bars, and a Sand Beast Bile Gland. Now, the Sand Beast Bile Glands, way back in episode 25, the Heart of the Sands episode, when we got the 3 broken pieces and we took them to the sand-swept ruins to piece them together into the Heart of the Sands, there was these various sand creatures, like deformed cat creatures. We killed them, and they were the Sand Beast, and with each one that you got a Sand Beast Bile Gland. And we harvested some of them, because we said back then in episode 25 that we would need some of that. And that's what we needed it for, to make these weapons, now that we've learned these weapons. Let me just take those daggers, and let me head upstairs. Or outside even. Let's see, outside here beside the tavern I've got a little chest set up with some of the better weapons that I've crafted. So one that's quite fun is Dead Leg. So when you harvest humans, you quite often will get a severed arm or a severed leg, and they act as a one-handed or two-handed mace. The Dead Leg just takes one of those severed legs and is basically the epic version of it. So it goes up to 54 health damage with 52 armor pen. The other fun ones we've got is the spatula, the stool, and the table leg. I guess the glasser as well. So let's just have a look at them. So number 1, it is literally a leg, and you can does all the two-handed mace animations, but you're swinging a leg. Except it does actually have really good damage on it. There's the spatula. You can see it there, and it is literally a one-handed axe. What stats does it have on it? It is 51 damage with 0 armor pen, so we would need an armor kit. Pretty reasonable durability as well. Next one is the reinforced stool. So this is a one-handed mace, 49 damage, 31 armor pen without any. And there it goes. It's literally the leg broken off the stool. And again, it's same one-handed mace animations. Very cool. And the table leg is the same thing, but it's the two-handed mace with a broken leg of a table. And finally, we have the glasser, which is 2 wine bottles. See, you can see that a bit better. It's just with the bottom of the bottle smashed, and we can just do your normal. Let me see what the glasser is. 36 damage with 20 armor pen. Table leg was 54 and 52% armor pen. So same as the dead leg. Okay. You used to be able to get those glassers off of the chef at the top of Jamila's Liberty, but I don't think you can get them there anymore. Right, let's throw these back in the box. Get out some more fun weapons. So let's take Havoc and Malice, Whirlwind Blades, Venom Infused Axe, and the Venom Infused Daggers. Right, so Havoc and Malice are two-handed. They look like frost weapons. What is their stats? 46 damage with 0 armor pen, but they are two-handed axes. So if you do your normal light click, heavy click, the thing with these is if you just keep doing right attack, right attack, right attack, you just this continue until you run out of stamina, of course. You do the leap and then you do these spinning axe attacks. Very cool. Whirlwind Blade is basically the exact same thing but for swords. So that's 46 and 0. The swords are 44 but with 9 armor pen, so a little bit less damage, but a bit more armor pen. Agility weapons, that's a strength weapon. And they do the same thing. If you take them out and left click will do your normal thing, but right click, then you can just do this whirlwind. Get our stamina back up again. Leap, and then the whirlwind spin. So, very cool animation. And then we have the Venom Infused Axe. This is the axe I'm currently using in my live stream playthrough. So it is just a one-handed axe, but it does do poison damage as well as the normal attacks. And then probably the best one of the lot is the Venom Infused Daggers, because like I say, they do bleed attack and they do poison attack at the same time. So you're stacking up those that can't be mitigated by armor, so you can help take down heavy armor creatures that can bleed and accept poison. Obviously it doesn't work on the undead and such like, but yeah, you can take them down pretty quickly. Okay, right. Another thing to show you is the tablet. So you craft that in your own inventory, and there's the tablet of power. So the other, as well as spending your fragments on power on buying things from the library, they're also used to give you more knowledge points. So if you run out of knowledge points, I typically just reset my stats and go back to 0 and then relearn just the things I want. But you can just give yourself more. And using a fragment of power will give you 10 more knowledge points. So each fragment 10 points. However, we've now learned the tablet, and the tablet takes 5 fragments to craft, so 5 of them. The difference being that a tablet will give you 60 knowledge points, so 5 fragments of 10 points each would give you 50, but a tablet would give you 60. So by crafting your 5 fragments into a tablet and then use the tablet, you'll get 60 more knowledge points. Takes a while to craft, but that's the advantage of the tablet. Okay, finally, you can just see up on the cliff there, I've built 2 vertical elevators. So here is a normal vertical elevator, and right next to it is the fast one that we just learned. And let's have a quick race and see which one is the fastest. So we've got to set that one off, and set that one off, and here they come. So you can see how much faster the fast elevator is. So I really don't like normal elevators because they are so slow. Fast elevators are still not super fast, but they're maybe twice as fast as a normal elevator. That's roughly. And this one's still coming down. But there you go. Yeah, the fast elevator is also a horizontal elevator that goes along with it as well, of course, if you want to link two things together. But that's it. That is our quick and easy guide to the Library of Esoteric Artifacts. So we talked about that quite a while ago now, about going to learn all that stuff after we'd been there for the first time. And we've learned it now, and we've learned all 30 of the artifacts. So they will all show in... is it under survival? Or was that it? I think it's under survival. Yes, here we go. Library of Esoteric Artifacts. So we've got the spatula, the bindings of the dead, the coloured candles, the dead leg, a decorative grindstone, dragonborn armour, that's learned in the arena, that wasn't from the library. The essence of rot that will rot your food, your fast elevators, your faux taxidermy, so you can get taxidermied animals to place around your base. The gravedigger, havoc and malice, the kiln, it's just a even more improved furnace over the top of the one we've got. Kingscour's statue, we've got the Silent Legion armour we learned at Black Keep. There's the merchant signs, that just like one for blacksmith, armoursmith, smeltery, both standing signs and wall signs. Lots of them. The petrified egg. Practice swords is just wooden swords, 1 and 2, that do like hardly any damage, so good for practicing on. There's the stool, there's the Serpent Man statues. Skelos cult armour, forgot about that. That's the kind of armour that drops up in the volcano, so you can now learn to craft that. The table leg, the tablet of power, the glasser, the throne of Skelos, the venom infused daggers, pike, sword, two-handed sword, and war axe. The dragonborn armour again from the undead dragon in the arena. The way markers, just signs that you can actually label, either wall mounted or standing ones. Whirlwind blades, and the Yogite chosen mask, which is just another mask that acts as a sandstorm mask, or protects you from gas, but gives you the Yog type style. There we go. That's all the recipes that we can learn. Oh, and it's went dark. Okay, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.